And this is what made the spy also so powerful, because their foes were able to hide the ship between everything. Anyway, what also the second match of the day? It's Watch over Daedalus versus the Catskyders on what was it? And the map will take forever to load for me.
That's okay. I'll start with the red team. The Watch over Daedalus. We have nothing but fog, piloted by Master O Disaster. It is a heavy carronade goldfish with a left side mine launcher, right side flamethrower. Their ally, the Pillow Fort of Wad, piloted by Owie Fox. We have from left to right, light Artemis, Gatling gun, center Mercury field gun, and the right side Gatling and Artemis.
And for the Catskyders, we have the Barten of Rache, a galleon piloted by Things with a left side Hades lumberjack heavy flag, right side Havacha cabinet, and a flare on the back, not a poon, sadly enough. And for the last ship, we have the Area of Bronte, a goldfish piloted by Kimura, cabinet front, flame and flare on the side. Double Gatling on that mobile. And it
Yeah, a
looks
little.
like Watch Out Daedalus is going straight in apparently.
Yeah, nothing but fog taking a very low altitude. Looks like they want to try to get the element of surprise. I mean, I think they're spotted, so that's not going to happen. I guess the Pillow Fort's staying high. They're going to keep trying to distract blue team. Actually managing to take down the blue galleon's hull armor. And it's taking a while to repair that hull armor, actually. Wharton, moonshining. He wants to move back. He realizes he's taking the worser of this exchange. We have some lumberjack shots going in. Lumberjack. So this is one of the issues with the galleon. I think in this particular matchup, the Mobula's gotten much stronger as teams have gotten more comfortable with it, and it's sort of like the old triple Artemis junker, except now it has more armor shredding with the Mercury. Like, those heavy weapons on the galleon are so susceptible to disable that just keeping them up is a challenge. And if you can't keep them up, you're not returning any fire, and you're just kind of out in the open doing nothing, taking damage, and eventually you're going to go down.
Well, the Gallon's guns weren't really much disabled until now. They destroyed the carronade on the other side of the Gallon, which is interesting enough. Just they couldn't. I think they didn't see the Mobula because it was behind this cloud. It wasn't spotted for a while.
Like, even with the lumberjack being up, like, they're missing these shots. There's one finally hitting, but now they're within the arming time, so lumberjack's not going to... This is actually interesting positioning from the Pillow Fort. They're choosing to move into arming time and use the Mercury to double Artemis, because they know the Galleon's not going to be able to move up or down or dodge those or abuse the poor arcs of those sniper weapons, because it's such a slow and clunky ship. So they're pretty safe at close range, and although they need to kill them before the right side of the Galleon comes into effect. Are we going to see some heavy carronade shots?
This stuff with Gatling is just shredding all the guns in the armor of the Gatling repeatedly until it dies. Gatling
Wow.
can't do anything against that.
Yeah, I guess that's something people often discount, the disabling power of Gatling versus heavy weapons. Because the heavy weapons have such a large hitbox, they take a ton of damage from greased Gatling. Or I suppose, not greased Gatling in this situation, but Gatling in general.
These goldfishes on the other hand are just one versus one each other, continuously destroying the balloon until they hit the ground of the ocean.
It's like mud wrestling match at the bottom of the water hazard here. But, well, now it looks like Arya trying to maybe get a little bit of a stomp, but nothing but fog manages to evade, and now that the Pillow Fort's coming back in, like, the opportunity is kind of gone for the Arya. I think they should probably make a last-ditch effort to try to escape, although it will be difficult.
Or that Mobile one. Yeah, I'm not sure this area of front is actually going to avail this game. Not Bloom is going to be destroyed too, and these Gatlings will just destroy the armor repeatedly until they die on the ground.
It looked like he was trying to get kind of a last-ditch effort, like cheese kill on the nothing but fog, trying to stomp them into the ground. Because even a ship that has most of its health, particularly a goldfish, if you get a nice angle, a downward angle against the ground, you can kill them pretty quickly. So I think that was probably what he was going for, rather than attempting to escape.
probably. Maybe it was... I don't actually know. It could be that he was trying to disable the goldfish and then escape the Mirabla, but the Mirabla was there sooner than he expected.
We do have the Catskyders respawning on the east side of the map. We'll see how they choose to start this next engagement. Like, I think a lot of it...
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you interrupted.
It feels like a lot of this really comes down to if they can get those initial lumberjack shots on the Mobula, because they need to take those sniper weapons out of effect at the beginning of the engagement before their heavy weapons start getting disabled. Like, if they come in at a high altitude, lumberjack has pretty reasonable downward arcs, so if they come in at a high angle, the Merc and the Artemis won't be able to return fire, and they can take down the balloon. I don't know, I feel like that's really their only opportunity to win in a long-range sniper war. They need to start off with the upper hand.
Yeah, Gallons are very depending on the gunners to hit with the lumberjack. Also, as you mentioned before, the Mobile is just going to disable the Galleon before it can return any sort of fire.
Yeah, the Warden's actually falling. This is probably something he shouldn't be doing. He's trying to focus on the red goldfish, but the Mobula is the problem. They need to make sure the Mobula doesn't... Okay, they're switching focus to the Mobula, but they need to start gaining altitude, because now these Artemis shots are coming in. Guns flak is down. Lumberjack probably going down pretty quickly here. Like, they need to have the altitude advantage, or they're not going to win this fight.
The Nothing But Fog seems to be shooting the Gallon's balloon, actually.
They got their Pillafort's balloon. Pillafort's going to be dropping down now. This is their chance. They could potentially, as long as they keep their guns up for the next, few moments, keep that lumberjack fire on them, keep the balloon down. The engagement's now finally going in their favor. WAD has to be careful. They might barely evading this rock that actually might have been their death, but the lumberjack fire keeps coming in. Balloon going down again. More lumberjack shots. Hades as well. He's jamming that drogue shoot, just trying to stay in the air, because he knows once he hits the ground, it's going to be death. But a few lumberjack shots actually miss, allowing him to get a small amount of altitude. And this allows him to push the Arya off of his ally, even though he's taking all this fire.
Yeah, I think he was trying to support his ally to get the upper hand against the goldfish, so his ally can then in turn help him against the Galleon.
Oh, this is beautiful positioning from the Pillafort. Actually, he's behind this rock. He has good angles on the Arya, and the Wharton is not able to return any fire. And now now that he is checking the blue goldfish, his ally, the red goldfish, now has the opportunity to disable the Galleon. So kind of a nice turnabout play from the WAD. Galleon's going to be out of this fight.
Lumberjack and Hades and Heavy Flake both have reasonably well upward arcs, so even though the Galleon's balloon is destroyed, it can still return fire rather easily, and you can see that now the Mobile is just losing balloon and arm at the same time. Oh my god.
Yeah, they've chosen to kind of pop out from their little hidey hole.
This Heavy Flake
and Nothing But Fog. Yeah, it looks like Nothing But Fog is going to be sitting on this blue Galleon. But yeah, as you mentioned, Pillafort's going to be... He needs to try to get out of, I think, the sideward arcs, because he's not going to be able to maintain the altitude advantage with his balloon taking so much damage. But at the same time, the Galleon's taking a lot of damage as well. Their whole armor going down, their balloon's down. Nothing But Fog is going for a little bit of a stomp, but Arya is coming up behind him, and the Pillafort behind them. So we've got a little bit of a tango going on, a salsa dance, as it were. I don't know, this is a weird fight. Somehow all these ships are managing to stay alive. Nobody's able to deal the final blow.
Yeah, I guess the Galleon's the only real kill ship in close range. And I mean, the Mobile has double Galleon. This goldfish is not kill ship, so I guess this is why everyone's staying alive so well.
I mean, I feel like the Mobula, like the blue goldfish, probably can get a reasonable kill on the Mobula if they manage to disable their balloon, but they just haven't. They've sort of been fighting with the fog this whole match. Now we actually have the. I wonder why that is. The Arya's choosing not to engage, has chosen not to really engage the Pillowfort at any point in this match. Like you see, even now he's ignoring him and trying to go back to the fog.
Yeah, this move actually managed to destroy the Arya's carronade repeatedly with the double Gatling, and before the carronade, the Sculptor is not able to shoot back, and I think he needs to save his ally against the Gallon, so his Gallon ally can then shoot the Mirbula, which he's trying to attempt to. But the Gallon is just taking so much damage, and everything is disabled on the ship, and the Goldfish is now getting somewhat focused fired by these two white ships. It might just die before the Galleon.
I think they'll probably, with that drogue shoot, they'll probably be able to stay up long enough, but they have to get their ally out of this balloon lock, or the Galleon's going to die. And I'm just not sure now. And they're at such low health that this double Gatling's just going to finish them off. Like when you have a ship with double Gatling, like there's a certain point where you just can't fight anymore because you're so low that the Gatlings by themselves will destroy you without the assistance of an explosive weapon. So there's almost nothing you can do. And now we have a very strong 4-0 lead for red team.
With minimal perma damage too. Mirble's balloon got destroyed repeatedly and the armor too, but they managed to dodge and get behind the cover against all these flags that the Gallon had. I guess this double Gatling is also very effective against the Goldfish, especially because they managed in the Goldfish, they wanted to pass the armor, also has to repair the engines, and so when you just for this Goldfish armor repeatedly, as often with the double Gatling, it can't repair the engines anymore and loses a significant amount of speed to run away from the double Gatling.
Looks like we are going to have what will be probably our final engagement, unless we have a little bit of an upset from the Catskyders. They need to have a full they need to have a full team wipe on the enemy team without losing any ships themselves, and that's going to be a tall order, especially with the Mobula having the height advantage going into this fight. Artemis already coming in.
A lot of these shots going wide on both sides.
Looks like nothing but fog does manage to get the balloon the Caro disable on the Arya. That is kind of an important aspect of these heavy Caro mirror matches. Whoever gets to disable on the heavy carronade first has such a huge advantage. And with the Goldfish kind of fighting lower, this leaves the Mobula, kind of gives them free range on the Galleon, and now the Gatling's coming into effect.
Yeah, the Pillowfort just took the first opportunity it had and just went into disarming time, but
I don't. Who even did the goal? Who died? I
think it was the Goldfish. Yeah. I also watched the Galleon, but I think the nothing but fog rammed the area into the ground, like you mentioned earlier, with the Gumbosum. And they just killed it in the end. Very well played by the watcher with Daedalus. Just making sure that their ships are behind this cover when they're not in the best optimal engagement position, and every chance they had, they would just shoot the ship that would do the most damage to them and just save the allies and then kill them in the end.